All right, guys, welcome back to the simulator. Welcome back to the channel. You may have noticed that I started this live stream once already, but I didn't have my damn mic on. So I stopped the live stream and put my mic on. Sometimes I need an adult. A lot of times I need an adult. At any rate, what I got for you guys today, I was at Dick's Sporting Goods on lunch with one of my buddies, and I saw these, it wasn't the first time I've seen them, but these MAXFLI TRIFLI golf balls. And the reason that I am so interested in these is because they have a TP5X Pix ball-like pattern. You can see these ones are the little skull and crossbones. This other pack I bought was little dollar signs. And then the third pack, which I think is the best, but I may not be able to use them in the simulator, if I even do use them in the simulator at all, is this little one with the beer cans on it, which I think is really cool. These are interesting to me because the pattern, much like a TP5X Pix ball, is going to help your launch monitor, whatever type of launch monitor you use, pick up and judge spin better to give you more accurate numbers, allegedly. Let's take a look at these golf balls here. Let's see here. How am I not getting any of the logos? TriFly. I don't know anything about MAXFLI golf balls. I don't know where they came from. I don't know their origin. I have been told that a lot of people use them on tour, like they're the #1 ball on tour or something. I don't know how much I believe that, but is what it is. I think the other side here says MAXFLI. This is obviously the second time I've shot this part of the video because, again, I didn't have my stupid ass mic on. But there you go, little repeating beer can awesomeness. My only issue with these is I think because the balls are so budget friendly and cheap that these red marks may start to wear off on my impact screen, which is a non-starter. But we'll test all that. The first time I start to see any transfer of this red ink or any of this other ink to my impact screen, we'll go ahead and call these, these will just get used outside, or I'll give them to some of my friends or something. But there's the beer can ones. Here's our dollar sign ones. And guys, these were discounted at Dick's down to $14.99 a box, if you can believe that. These are very budget-friendly golf balls. What do we got here? It's your MAXFLI. The camera doesn't want to zoom in that close. I realize I'm like 4 inches from the lens though. So you see TriFly, same thing. Little gold dollar signs with a black outline. Pretty neat golf balls. Good for a launch monitor picking up spin if they don't transfer their paint to the impact screen, especially those high spinning shots off those high lofted clubs. We'll see though. And then last we have the skull and crossbones. This is obviously the simplest design out of the three. Little black skull and crossbones, MAXFLI, and then you rotate it around here. You've got your TriFly for lining up for your putt or whatever it is you want to do with that sort of thing. let's take a look at what the inside of these balls look like. You can see there's some propaganda on the box, right? That's not the right side of the box. Here's your propaganda from MAXFLI. 3-piece ionomer construction, whatever the hell ionomer is. High resiliency mantle for faster ball speeds and lower spin, maximizing distance and control. Sure, we've all heard that crap before. Find the fairway dimple pattern, innovative cube octahedron design with 374 dimples for a more stable, straighter ball flight. Wow, okay, nice. Ultra soft compression core. Ultra soft core enhances greenside spin while maintaining control of full swing shots, full shots. Soft ionomer cover enhances greenside spin for precision and approach and short game shots. Something that immediately is throwing up a red flag to me about this box. It claims maximizing distance and control. If you guys know anything about golf balls, or if you don't, I'll tell you, you can't typically get a lot of distance and a lot of control out of the same golf ball. They're usually good at one or the other, or mediocre if they claim to do both. We will soon find out, right? But that's the propaganda off the box. It does have a strange dimple pattern. I don't know how well you're able to see it, but it's got small dimples, and then it's got these areas, these large areas where the dimples are much bigger, and they're in little triangle shapes. It's probably pretty hard to pick it up on the camera, but I think that might be why they're called triflies. I don't actually know. Let's figure out which one of these is my least favorite. I think it's probably the skull and crossbones one is my least favorite. Let's cut one of these open and see what's on the inside of them. Let's see if it's a 3-piece construction ionomer, blah, 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 like it claims. I try to cut these down the middle so that the two halves are relatively the same, but it doesn't always work out. It is a 3-piece ball. It's hard to zoom in on it. Can I do that? It is a 3-piece ball. You see a very uncharacteristically thick outer jacket. I can't really get any better zoom here, guys. I'm sorry. Even though this is a fairly expensive camera, I don't think it's made to do close-up work. But you can see it's got this red rubbery core, and then it's got the second layer, and then it's got the outer jacket. We did a pretty good cutting job there. The pieces are relatively the same, but that's what it looks like on the inside. Usually when I cut a golf ball open and I see it's got a thick jacket, it's a budget ball. I'm surprised it's a 3-piece. The Kirkland signature balls are also 3-piece balls, as are the Pro V1s and Pro V1Xs. They're 3-piece balls. The difference you usually see is that this jacket is much thinner on the higher dollar balls. If you've got a pack of balls that's $15 for 12, we're talking about, I don't know, $1.25 a piece or whatever, let's say. Maybe a little less, or maybe that's exactly it, 12. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. So $1.25 a piece versus a Pro V1 or a TP5X Pix, or name your $50 a box golf balls. Those are usually, they kind of hit you in the wallet when you lose one in the bush or in the water or OB or wherever you're losing it. But I don't know really what else I could show you or what else I could say. You know the price. They're very clicky compared to like a higher dollar ball. I think what I'm the most concerned about is this red paint on the beer can ones rubbing off on my screen. because I did have a go with the some Taylormade Super Softs. If I can find one here. I think I got a pink one here. Well, here's a cut in half Taylormade Super Soft. Here's an actual fully intact Super Soft. But these balls are 25 bucks a box, and this paint was rubbing off on my impact screen. I was using these on the impact screen, the blue ones, and the paint was rubbing off on it. Ever so noticeable, but yeah. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't have any questions in the chat. I usually don't. This is a pretty small channel. What I'm going to do is stop this live stream, move all my cameras back to where they need to be, and then I am going to play with actual sim golf with this beer can one, because I think it's going to be the worst offender, and see if it starts rubbing off on my impact screen. The season's kind of to an end here in Utah. I think maybe we have a few more weeks, and then if we have a nice day here and there where it gets warm, we'll be able to play some golf. But unless they're really bad, I could play them on the golf course. They'd obviously be able, you'd be able to identify your ball pretty quick, which would be nice. And marking balls sometimes gets kind of old, but there you have it, guys. Those are the MAXFLI Tri-Highs. They're on sale right now at Dick's Sporting Goods for 15 bucks a box plus tax. Pretty neat ball. Usually you don't get that any pattern such as this for 15 bucks a box, but I want to say I predict that the red paint's going to rub off on my impact screen, but I am not going to say that until I have some definitive evidence that suggests that's going to happen. We've got another ball to add to the pile of golf balls I've cut in half, but that's all I got, guys. I don't see any questions in the chat. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will start a new stream here in a few minutes once I move all my cameras back, and we'll actually play with the red ones here and see if they transfer to the screen or not. But I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. This is Turbo Talon Golf signing out. We'll see you in another live stream here in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Have a good one, guys.